Those are always useful.
Are they going to call our names on the PA when the transports are ready?
Attention all personnel. Site burn will commence in 1 hour.
I loaned my screwdrivers to Bela. I hope he remembers to pack them.
You're distracting me.
My cousin's been cut from the mission. His eye shorted on him yesterday, so he was sent to the secondary base to get it fixed. Obviously, he won't make it back.
Against our enemies.
Roland Gala, report to the shooting range immediately.
Quit smoking dick. Somebody, the training is back. I wish I were on Alpha Team for the mission, but setting those explosives is going to be fun too.
All that champagne in the other hand. He dropped the last. Good.
Perimeter detail reports west side all clear.
Christoph is with us. We can hit a gourd with a rock from 750 meters. Blow the damn thing to pieces.
Okay. Need to take a new robot stuff in the plane before we get to our target.
Perimeter detail reports east side all clear.
Bring his crossbow. What is the point of being on patrol if nothing's going here?
When the Republic sees us on television, in our gold masks, they're going to shit themselves.
Perimeter detail reports south side all clear.
Refocused. Up to the distance just now.
I wasn't listening.
Perimeter detail reports north side all clear.
God, am I impatient to get started.
Last-minute checks always catch something.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
One last check. Just making sure that everything's in working order.
Looking forward to getting some real action?
Fucking they won't know what hit.
Attention all personnel. The clubhouse is closed. We are clearing the site. Transports are en route.
One last check. Just making sure everything's in working order.
Looking forward to getting some real action?
Fucking they won't know what hit.
Attention all personnel. The clubhouse is closed. We are clearing the site. Transports are en route.
Got to go soon. Working out some last-minute nerves.
One last check. Just making sure everything's in working order.
Looking forward to getting some real action?
Fucking they won't know what hit them.
Attention all personnel. The clubhouse is closed. We are clearing the site. Transports are en route. Attention. T-minus 60 minutes to full evac.
Roger.
Attention all personnel. Site burn will commence in 1 hour.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Perimeter detail reports east side all clear. Perimeter detail reports south side all clear. Perimeter detail reports north side all clear. Cargo 2 is loaded and awaiting secure. Slovensky, report to Cargo 4 for inspection.
Marchenko leaves first, and then you touch him.
Biological weapon?
I am not happy about that.
All cargo not loaded by 0400 will be terminated in the burn. Attention all personnel. The clubhouse is closed. We are clearing the site.
Transport are en route. I got the preview of Marchenko's press release. The press is going to shit themselves. Yeah. Try to imagine what the world will look like the day after our operation. I was thinking about double thrusting. Might not get a chance to shoot anyone. Move in!
Attention. T-minus 60 minutes to full evac.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Perimeter detail reports west side all...
Chicane, come in. Got... Damn it, Chicane, where are you?
Jensen, you're alive. Shit. I've been trying to get a hold of you for hours, getting nothing but dead air. Listen, found a place to sit down. I'm coming in after you.
Don't bother, I'm coming to you. Alex, I don't need that ride. I found my pilot.
That's a relief. Let me know when you're back in Prague.
Copy that.
Ready to get the hell out of here?
No, not yet. Keep the engines hot, I won't be long.
Are you fucking... Why do I even bother? Just make it quick. Satisfied? Eerie, isn't it?
What the hell happened? Where's everyone?
Martial law. Riots in Gollum spilled over into Prague. The entire city's on lockdown. No one but state police are allowed in the streets tonight. They've all got itchy trigger fingers.
Wonderful. Talk to Miller? Tell him to meet me at the office?
He'll be waiting for you. Of course, you'll likely be shot getting there. Watch yourself out there, Jensen.
Alex, it's me. We need to meet.
You got a location? Because the streets aren't safe tonight, man.
Can you make it to the limb clinic where we met before?
Yeah, it's not far. I'll meet you there. Don't know why he didn't listen. Let's see what we have. Fuck! Then why did he run?
What's the holdup? So?
So we killed a citizen.
The city's on lockdown. A true citizen would respect that. Get him in the truck.
Fuck, I'm glad you're okay, Adam.
I brought you a present from the Alps. Compliments of Victor Marchenko. Be careful with it.
Is this the orchid?
Yeah. Marchenko tried to kill me with it, just like he did Rooker. Think you can get it analyzed?
Yeah, we got a couple of scientists on the collective's mailing list. Some of them are already culling through the files you and Janus pulled from the bank. I'll let you know what they find. Oh, and we also ran a trace on that email you gave me, from Rucker. It originated from an unregistered pocket secretary in Hong Kong.
So we don't know who sent it?
Not yet. It's been shut off ever since. But we left a trace running, so if it lights up again, we'll know.
Good. Something big is coming, Alex. Ark's being framed for a terrorist attack that hasn't occurred yet.
They're gonna take more lives, blow up another train station? Jesus, Adam, look at it out there. Any chance we had of easing fears and fighting people's hatred will be gone. That piece of shit UN legislation will pass, and we'll all be thrown into AUG-only hellholes like Udalek.
While Nathaniel Brown sits back and earns trillions.
Brown? That slick suit from the Santo Corporation?
Page said Brown was calling the shots, and in Switzerland, Marchenko said Brown had confirmed date and time.
But where? Brown's been traveling extensively, promoting Rabia and his Safe Harbor initiative. His next junket's in London. But if he's behind this, he's not gonna attack himself.
Maybe not. Marchenko also mentioned someone who can tell us. But I have to meet with Miller first. How soon can you get the sample analyzed?
As fast as possible. If you're meeting with Miller, be careful. You walked into another ambush in Garm, and Miller's not off my suspect list yet.
We'll see.
Get that away from me. This is a travesty! Justice!
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
I guess. Or maybe one of these other clanks knocked her up. Her father's been harassing everyone in Blue. We're fucking riots in Golem City, and the suicide hens are caught on our hands. He can wait. Hey, I'm not arguing. I'm passing on some information.
Well, just, excuse me?
Not now, okay?
You'll be fine, you know.
Biotel, painkiller. Right over there. You want Praxis?
I might be a...
Your professionalism, Brad. Start.
This is the man. He'll set you up.
Be fine, I promise.
reaction to the sudden, unexpected death of Talon.
What the? Hypothermia. Lucky to have this fire. Might freeze to death.
I like it down here. If you don't, then you can just fuck off.
It started as a reaction to the way things were.
Prague is turning into a town of records. The people behind them have all gone.
Tall, dark, and augmented. Over here. Welcome to the underground. I owe you an apology for hacking your infolink.
Don't sweat it. I'm assuming you had a good reason.
Samizdat's usual channels are all bugged. I couldn't risk an audio communication being traced back here.
You're Little K, right? You don't sound local.
I wrote some things that made me have to delocalize a long time ago. Been living story to story on a Schengen visa and a language implant ever since. Never expect a short story from a long-form journalist. You want to know why I brought you here? The police raided Samizdat last night. Cleared us out. We were broadcasting until they pulled the plug. Radios, flyers, mail bursts, the makeshift media van. Getting the message out to our subscribers if they needed a refuge. As you can see, it went a little wider than we anticipated.
So are you running a resistance cell here or a campaign room?
Why not both? Now Samizdat has a captive voter base. We could run for the Senate.
It's organized resistance then.
Peaceful resistance. We're working together to get people under the cordon and out of Prague. It's a happy accident of a police state. Well, I say happy when everyone's repressed, they can see past their prejudices.
Or they shift the blame. It's gonna take a long time for those prejudices to heal.
As long as certain people can profit from keeping the wounds fresh. But you knew that already.
This isn't what I call laying low. Aren't you afraid the police will find you again, finish what they started?
They already got the cake. Bones, the backup servers, even the shitty coffee machine. Enough for them to call it a win and get back to indiscriminate brutality on the streets.
Where were you when this happened?
Right here. Running our little home away from home. Our sources tipped us off about the martial law. Either we could write about it and throw our hands up. Boy, I sure hope this massive rights violation doesn't end up being too awful this time. Or we could enact a readiness plan and really do something.
Yeah, when we first met, I called you pamphleteers. I guess I should apologize.
Oh no, we were pamphleteers. Now we're pamphleteers, jury-rigging an underground railroad.
What happened to Kay?
Kay is me now, according to the Samizdat Manifesto. It's all very third-wave socialist with a dash of martyr complex.
Good to know. But I mean, what physically happened to him?
Right. His name is Yarek. Yarek Drobny. He's being held by the police along with Bones. No contact, no bail, no rights. Plausible deniability.
You must have known the risks.
Well, he was open to the existence of risks. When you showed up, it should have been a wake-up call, but you were reasonable. The state isn't reasonable.
I'm pretty sure you didn't call me to put up posters. What's the deal?
We've made a plan. We're getting people out of the city, starting first thing tomorrow. I want Yarek and Bones to go with them, but first, we need to bust them out of jail. Tonight.
And you think I'm the kind of guy who breaks into police stations?
Are you telling me you're not?
Fine, I'll get them out. They're being held in the temporary police station downtown?
Yes. By the Monument Metro. Once you're clear, takes them across the plaza to the Uneda Cleaners. We've cached everything they need for a long road trip along the old NATO decommissioning zone.
That's your escape route? Puts getting them past the state police into perspective.
It works on paper. And gives them these new identity documents, a lot of new identities. We found a very good forger. We're keeping her from a bright future in a Pika's newsroom. Too many people. We'll have to borrow more trucks. Can we get back into the city trash depot tonight?
We have already taken so many. Maybe we should consider freight trains again.
You don't know
I
where
recognize
those
them.
trains have been? I don't either, but it's highly radioactive.
Declaration of augmentation. Tigard for it.
Tell him he's a true hero of the resistance.
It started as a reaction to the way things were.
Kvůli vlastní bezpečnosti nevycházejte ven. Hrozí zatčení. Pozor, platí dočasný. Pozor, platí dočasný zákaz vycházení. Obavám z šířících se nepokojů byly zástupci celé městě vyhlásit zákaz vycházení. Kvůli obavám z šířících se nepokojů byli zástupci města nuceni v celém městě vyhlásit zákaz vycházení. Dbejte pokynů příslušníkům státní policie.
You go first. You hear that? Got a buddy!
Pusťte mě. Let me go. I need to get out of here. Come on. Better not be dead. Kvůli obavám z šířících se nepokojů byli zástupci města nuceni v celém městě vyhlásit zákaz vycházení. Dbejte pokynů příslušníkům státní policie. nepokojů byly
So you can play bad cop, worse cop, huh? What do you think this is, the 1980s? Like those old documentaries? The journalists aren't the revolution,
I
man. We're
remember
just
you.
augmenting the message.
Do we have
And
to
the
free
message,
us or
it's still out there.
intelligence?
It's on the streets. It's over the airwaves. It's spreading online. Maybe it's
Did they
even
send
got
you to
into
get
those
me out?
faceless skullbuckets, huh? Maybe you're thinking you're fighting for the wrong team. Well, that's a good start, man. First, see that your strings are being pulled by crooked folks, big bosses. Then you can stop dancing for it. And you know what would be a... Another good start? Letting us... Hold still! Back his asshole!
Our old military-industrial friend.
I remember.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
You still up there?
Did they send you to get me out?
Free! You! I knew it, man! I knew you were one of them all along!
Do I look like I'm one of them?
I can feel my hands right now, but if I could run a search for shadowy extra-government agent on the net, pretty sure it's all you.
Fair point. What happened? You pulled a Freedom of Information speech on the state police?
Ha fucking ha. They didn't wait for a speech, man. Lesson learned. Smash the state before the state smashes your nose.
Little K asked me to get you out.
She's the K now, man. I'm a liability to Sam's dad.
She cares about you, Yarrick. She didn't want to leave you or Bones behind.
Always was a cool cat, man. One of the good ones. She wrote the wheels come off 16 years ago and the conspiracies just keep checking out. Everything except the gray aliens, but who's to say that's not a metaphor?
If she wrote the book...
I don't believe in authorial intent.
I might have known you wouldn't keep your heads down during the riots.
This is what a radical news source lives for, man! Lives and dies for! But the helmets on the streets, the extreme peacekeeping, that's not about the Gollum riots. How are the Augs gonna get over here? Carpool? No. Someone, somewhere wanted the cops to clean house in Prague. And this is just the beginning. What if they could call martial law anywhere, anytime? Cops without borders.
That's your prediction, huh?
You can take it to the bank, man. The Palisade Property Bank.
You told me you were a liability to Sam's dad. How do you figure that?
Because the cops burn me, man. Exposure is death. They didn't have to ask a single question. Just took my DNA off their knuckles. My high school dropout date, my sister's parking tickets, my darknet proxies. Oral cemetery.
Oral cemetery?
They didn't get a lot of mainstream airplay. Anyway, Little K shouldn't have sent you. Sammy's dad has to be bigger than any man or woman.
Sam's dad is bigger than you now, Yarrick. The Resistance reached further than you planned for. You want to fall on your sword, there's a better place to do it than in a holding cell.
Whoa, whoa, you know I use the term liability real broadly.
You told me you were a liability to Sam's dad. How do you figure that?
Because the cops burn me, man. Exposure is...
Oral cemetery?
Whoa!
You told...
Because the cops burn me, man. Exposure is death. They didn't have to ask a single question. Just took my DNA off their knuckles. My high school dropout date, my sister's parking tickets, my darknet proxies. Oral cemetery.
Oral cemetery?
They didn't get a lot of mainstream airplay. Anyway, Little K shouldn't have sent you. Sammy's dad has to be bigger than any man or woman.
Sam's dad is bigger than you now, Yarrick. The Resistance reached further...
Whoa, whoa, you know...
I warned you about picking a fight with Picus. They've got a lot invested in protecting the message.
Would I be talking to you now if Picus had got to us? I mean, does Eliza Kassan have a sense of humor? All those bombs going off lately. What's one more in the sewers? BTW, those are all rhetorical questions.
You don't say.
But they're trying, man. Bones heard the cops talking about extraordinary rendition. What a wonderful connected world we live in, when they can pin an acronym on you, ARC, NSF, who gives a rat's ass, and ship you off to a black site on the UN's credits.
Just how many states are you an enemy of?
All the corporate ones.
There's a way out of Prague for you both. The Samizdat resistance has organized everything. We just need to keep our heads down and get to the cleaners nearby.
The cleaners? Irony. Wait, you mean going through the cops?
There's a police locker in the corner that should be stocked with uniforms. Find something that fits and try to look convincing. We need the cops to think you're one of them. Good. It's time to go.
Low profile, low profile.
I'll be right
I'm going to
behind
make
you.
the deadline.
What were you saying?
Move that story to page 2.
I feel like I'm
It's
20.
sad to see the place like this.
Different angle. Low angle.
Sad to see the place like this. Cut that last part in seconds too. Let's make it fast.
Feel like I'm 20.
Cut that last part in seconds too.
Different angle. Low angle.
It's sad to see the place like
We should
this.
send out insurance archive again. Long live Samizdat.
Feel like I'm 20. My God, martial law, curfews, people being jailed for no reason. It reminds me of Warsaw 1982.
Warsaw didn't have drones.
Now what? Do you think we are safe here?
You are for now, but you can't risk going back outside. There's a group organizing underground. They're doing everything they can to create a refuge to get people out.
These men, they are part of this group?
That's right. I know how much it meant to you to stay in Prague, Edward, but things aren't going to get any better. If there was ever a time to leave, this is it. If you wait here, case people will come for you. They'll do everything they can to help.
I think I have no choice now. I will wait here. I will cooperate. Thank you for everything you've done.
Good luck, Edward.
I cannot believe we made it.
Yes, exit plans, man, exit plans. Always be making them. We worked this contingency plan out when we started Samizdat. Didn't think it would actually come to this, though.
No one thought it would be like this. You're gonna need these documents where you're going, wherever that is.
I hear Paris is the best place to have a revolutionary agenda these days. If you want to come along, you can be the muscle. Well, whatever your arms are made of, the stuff they use on space shuttles.
No can do. I've got a previous engagement I really can't miss.
Right, with the cardboard box company.
Watch yourself out there, Kay.
Kay? Kay is Kazdi, man. Kay is everyone. You're part of it now.
Time for Samizdat to go international.
I will be careful. I promise.
Pozor! V celém městě platí zákaz vycházení. Kvůli rostoucím nepokojům v komplexu útulek byly pražské ulice uzavřeny. Nevycházejte ven. V celém městě platí zákaz vycházení. Kvůli rostoucím nepokojům v komplexu útulek byly pražské ulice uzavřeny. Nevycházejte ven.
Pane, já vás varuju. Nevycházejte na ulici. Tohle je stav nouze. Pane, uklidněte se. Vraťte se dovnitř. Pane, já vás varuju. Nevycházejte na ulici. Tohle je stav nouze. Pane, uklidněte se. Vraťte se dovnitř. Pane, já vás varuju. Nevycházejte na ulici. Tohle je stav nouze. A to jste dělej. Kluce, Shut up, cops! I don't give a shit what you want! Hands behind your back!
Are you a cop? Let me tell you something. You bastards are going to hear about this in the morning.
Adam, it's David. We need to talk. In private.
Nothing's more private than my info link.
I'm not so sure. I've sent a secure vid call number to your smart home system. Get to your apartment and call me.
Verified. Adam Jensen.
Doesn't make any sense.
Delara, what are you doing here?
Is that going to become our standard conversation starter?
I'm serious, Delara. It's dangerous outside. Non-essential staff should be home. How did you even get—
Ouch. Non-essential.
I just meant—
Work with me, Adam. I was trying for a little levity. Truth is, watching Picus News, hearing that the mobs were getting closer to the city, I was reminded of— Let's just say I thought being 3 stories below ground was better than staying in my apartment. So I called in a favor and got state police to escort me in. Listen, I can tell something big is happening, so I don't want to keep you.
You doing okay, Delara?
Look, Adam, I didn't tell you why I left Lim International. That I was in session with a patient when the incident hit, and that I was—
You were attacked.
Her name was Madeline. She was 13. A really sweet kid. One minute we were talking, laughing actually, about something silly I'd said, and the next she was—
It was a terrible day. For everyone.
After I fought her off, she just stared at me like she was totally aware, you know, but not in control. God, Adam, I could see in her eyes that some part of her was still in there, locked away. And she was terrified.
Delara, I'm sure the girl—
Madeline. Her name was Madeline. You know the part that I'll never forget, though? The thing that keeps just replaying in my mind over and over? Right before she jumped out of my office window, I could swear she was crying.
Believe me, Delara, I know how you feel. You know what I think? I think we're stronger than that day. I think the scars we carry are like armor now.
Like armor? I like that. Guess I just got a little spooked, you know?
I understand. But regardless of the reason, you took a risk coming back here. These are dangerous times for everyone.
You don't need to worry about me, Adam. I'll be fine. I'll just hunker down in my office until the storm passes. Besides, I hear I have a very comfortable couch.
Just take care of yourself.
I always do.
You dig deep enough with these guys, you start to find the skeletons.
Like herding cats. These crackpots come up with this.
Wait, hang on.
They get cut off.
The United Nations
You want people to
one
compete
possible
with you.
target.
Now, these mafia types are always squeaky clean on paper.
You know what I heard? He got captured, escaped, and... Oh, Jensen, hi. Be with you in a sec. You know what I heard? He got captured, sneaked his way out of a heavily
Incident is still being felt 2 years after the fact.
That's Jensen. He's a hands-on kind of guy.
He's also got a bit of a problem with authority.
So what? The hostiles were there, but he got out.
I understand that. You made it. Hell of a time for a lockdown.
More like convenient, given everything that's happened in this investigation so far.
What does that mean?
They knew I was coming. Marchenko and the gold mask from Dubai. Somebody tipped them off.
Are you accusing me?
You waffled a long time before agreeing to let me go.
Because you pulled the location out of your ass, you refused to tell me how you got it. Your one solid lead to the bomb maker got away, and Rucker ended up dead when I sent you to arrest him. You've been nothing but an insubordinate cock-up since Manderley put you into this unit.
Manderley?
It was his signature on the transfer papers. I checked. I can't believe we're arguing over this. Not when we need to focus. Chicane debriefed me while you were flying back. Leon sent in a strike team. Got there about an hour after you two slipped out.
And the mercs were gone.
Did a pretty good job of trashing the place before bugging out, and left a few booby traps behind. So we have no idea where they went or what they're planning next.
Not necessarily. I heard Marchenko talking to his men. He said something about finalizing a deal with the Diwali.
We need to move on this now. I'll get a search warrant for that old Diwali-owned theater on Zardibi Adlam Street.
You really think we have time for a search warrant?
No, but with the city under lockdown, I can't guarantee you'll make it over to the red light district alive.
I got here, didn't I? Nobody's killed me yet.
All right, fine. I won't stop you. Just be careful out there, Jensen. Let me know what you find.
Copy that.
You do understand we are trying to stop terrorists here.
Peterson pulled his ID off the train station video.
What are we seeing here? I knew something big was going on with the Tavalis.
You were right.
Damn fine
You've heard of
work,
these guys.
actually.
ARC, or the Augmented Rights Coalition? They're a human rights group who, on the surface at least, is trying to provide equal rights for augmented people. It was started by Dr. Talos Rucker, soon after the AUG incident when Rucker started to speak out against the anti-AUG legislation that was being passed by several local governments. If you ask me, it's not working. Things seem to be getting worse. ARC preaches non-violence, but a string of terror attacks has put them on the terror watch list. So I'll let you be the judge. Me too. Our arms dealer Shepard, aka John Trent, is a former Special Forces commander and ex-Bell Tower operative. And as is typical for those ex-Bell Tower employees, he's been selling off old Bell Tower tech and weapons. But we don't need to worry about him anymore. He was killed by those gold mask guys in Dubai.
I guess there's a chance he died in the blast. Damn fine work, actually.
Can't we do something?
Joseph the Builder, former member of the Church of the Machine God, now deceased. It seems he was the main architect and designer of the Consciousness Collector, the machine the Church of the Machine God wanted to use to help them merge with the Singularity. Everything we know about this guy can fit on one yellow sticky note. We know his name, Victor Marchenko, if that's his real name, and nothing else. I mean, we can't find a trace of him anywhere. You know as much as I do about these guys. They're augmented, well-trained, and very dangerous. And they seem to be massing weapons and bugs for some sort of attack. We don't know what yet. Ah, the elusive Radic Nikoladze. This guy's a piece of work. Driven and ruthless. When he came up, he was the youngest boss in the Diwali crime family.
How did they
Man
get
spends
cut
more
off?
money on suits than most people spend on their houses. But don't let the looks and the haute couture fool you. He's the boss, he's in control, and he's squashed more than a few people who've tried to take him down along the way.
I don't know how much more of this I can watch.
The editor of Samizdat is a man known only as K.
order?
He works out of an underground newsroom somewhere in Prague, which is the principal hub for an extensive network of secret sources and rogue journalists working all across Europe.
I guess there's a chance he died in the blast.
Ah, the Diwali called this guy Constantine. Like that's supposed to be intimidating, right?
Wait,
we don't have a last
hang
name
on.
for Constantine, but until his death in the Rizika bombing, he was a high-placed member of the Diwali
Peterson
crime
pulled his
family,
ID off the
answering to
train station
Otar
video.
Botkavelli. We suspect he has lots of connections in the upper echelons of the
Can't find
organization,
work, actually.
all the way up to Radic Nikoladze and beyond. Between you and me, I suspect
Wait,
that he's a
hang on.
Pathan, a spy that watches a Diwali lieutenant
Can't find
closely
work,
to make sure he
actually.
doesn't make a move on the boss.
There's too many things to do all at
How did they get cut off?
MIA is still better than something else.
The impact of the AUG incident is still...
Hey, Adam.
They're trying to lock it down, but I was able to bypass most of the state police.
Good for you. The last thing we need is more bloodshed. There's been enough already. If I had your stealth training, I might head home, but I think I'm safer in here. Plus, my test results are in and they're putting me back in the field, finally. I don't want to run in with state police messing that up.
Whose unit are you assigned to for your next mission?
McCready's.
Really? I thought...
He actually recommended me. Told me I shoot better than anyone on his team.
That's great. Talk to you later, Arya.
Bye, Adam. See you out there.
No, you're wrong. They've gone too far. There's no reason to lock down the city.
It's not a lockdown, it's just a curfew.
These are the great times.
It seems like a lockdown.
City doesn't want the riots.
Use the words human restoration. I guess
Chang was asking if I noticed anyone suspicious hanging around, or if I felt like I was being followed.
everyone has the right to protest, even the ugly. Besides, the real problem is that they're not the ones getting tear gassed. MIA is still better than him blowing up something else.
Dr. Ozen, contact Central Dispatch.
Not safe out there. Not safe anywhere. You know, I was starting to think you got rounded up. My God, martial law, I heard it's pretty bad out there.
Bad enough. Don't go out if you don't have to.
Yeah, well, it's getting bad in here too. I've been going a little nuts. I mean, to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure who I can trust anymore.
What are you talking about, Chang?
You know I've been looking into Janus, right? Well, turns out Janus knows things about this place. About us. Things they could only know if... Information that could only come from inside.
You think Janus has a mole inside the task force? What makes you say that? What exactly have you found?
I can't tell you that, Jensen. I'm in charge of cybersecurity here. You really didn't think I wouldn't notice what's been going on? You've been poking into people's computers. You've been doing other things.
You're obviously a smart guy, Chang. Question is, whose side are you on?
Well, I don't take sides. Chang looks out for Chang.
I'm not sure that's good enough.
It's good enough for me. And it's a whole lot better than picking the wrong side, Jensen. Look, I'm not accusing you of anything yet. All I'm saying is, I'm a paranoid guy, okay? Right now, more than ever. If someone I work with is... I just need to know these walls are safe.
Nowhere is safe. My job, my reason for being here, for doing whatever it is you think I'm doing, is to change that.
Are you saying I should keep this to myself for now?
I'm saying you should do what you think is right. Use the resources you have here to go after the people who deserve it. People who manipulate others, who do everything they can to hurt others. You really think that's me?
No, I don't, Jensen. I just be careful, all right? Make sure you know what you're doing.
I'm always careful, Chang.
Eliza, if members of the U.S.
Be careful, Jensen.
Wait, hang on.
Damn fine work, actually.
Safe harbor in initiative.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I wonder if it would lead to debate.
To hear more of my exclusive
I guess there's a chance he died in the blast.
This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you.
You're gonna miss something.
From Piken.
No, I guess there's a chance he died in the blast.
I don't know why. I always fear the worst.
Nicoladze. Radish. M.
I'm glad I'm 5 stories underground.
Smiley, hanging in there?
Me? What about you? After your little recon mission, you come back to guns in the street. It's pretty bad out there. Any trouble getting around?
Oh, nothing I couldn't handle.
Well, at least you're positive. Wish I was right now. I've been combing through Dr. Talos Rucker's autopsy report, and apparently the medical examiner found nothing. Can you believe that? Nothing. No poison, no bacteria or toxin of any kind was found in his system. Officially, the cause of death was inconclusive.
Inconclusive? I watched him die, and I know for a fact Marchenko did it. They must have found something.
That's just what I thought, so I got my hands on an earlier draft of the report. And while they were unsure of the cause, at least they knew the effect. An unidentified foreign agent started attacking protein strands, bending them out of shape.
And the body's immune system took it from there.
Exactly. First swelling in the cell walls, then more kinking and bending in neighboring cells. The effect propagated throughout the body, made its way to the brain, where it was game over. Do not pass go, do not collect 200 credits. And that speculation, as they called it, is not in the final coroner's report. As far as they're concerned, the case is closed.
But not for you, right?
There's an unknown substance that kills people in minutes. I want to know what it is. And I'm gonna find out. They've already blocked my request once, but I spoke to Miller and he told me Manderley would make a few calls and get things moving.
Okay, stick with it.
Don't worry about that. It'll take more than being stonewalled by state police to stop me. I'll let you know if anything else comes up.
Thanks, Smiley.
Talk to you later.
These guys are starting to find the skeletons.
We'll have our lawyers down there.
The NSN is down again. I contacted the manufacturer. They just told us to reboot. Jim is furious.
MIA is still better than him.
Can you hear me? You have to come quick. He's here.
Who's here? Who is this?
It's Daria. From the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. The apartment across from yours. Please, hurry. I need you one thing.
Are you still there? Daria!
hear me? You have to come. Quick.
Who's here? Who is this?
Daria, from the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. Apartment across from yours. Please, hurry. I need you.
Still there? Daria!
Hear me? You have to come quick.
Who's here? Who is this?
It's Daria, from the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. Apartment across from yours. Please, hurry. I need you.
Are you still there? Daria!
Občané pozor. Vycházejte.
You bastards are going to pay.
My Interpol friend, it's dangerous for you to be out in the street tonight. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Oh, the killer is still out there. More victims have turned up. All of them Augs, all harvested. Just like Angela Gunn.
So it's the same person doing all this, and we still have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure where all this is going, but I've been looking at old case notes, and it's uncanny. Marek Svobotka, the old harvester, he's supposed to be dead. Yet this killer seems to... Little habits that were never made public. I even called the cemetery just to make sure Svobodka's still dead.
And?
He's dead.
That doesn't explain what you're doing here.
It's still my case, isn't it? And it's still open. I was hoping that maybe Daria suddenly remembered something. What about you? You know very well that your Interpol ID doesn't mean shit tonight. Hell, I should be arresting you right now.
Daria said she was in trouble. She was convinced that the killer had come after her. Now I find you sniffing outside her door. It's a little strange, isn't it?
Right, because I'm the killer. You need to get some sleep, my friend. You're not thinking straight.
How'd you know she was in trouble?
I had a hunch. You know, any other cop would arrest you for breaking curfew right now. Or worse. Lucky for you, I'm not any other cop. Go, check on your little friend. I'll take a look around the building. Just try not to get caught.
I won't.
After riots in the Santo Group's Udolite complex threatened to spill over into the capital's streets. Allegedly perpetrated by masses of augment. Reaction to the sudden, unexpected death of Tal. The riots have many people. Expedite their decision on Resolution 3547. lines around the world. Here are...
I don't know where she is. All I know is she called you and not me. Seems a bit curious, doesn't it?
How is anyone?
It's nothing.
I knew this Rakar business would cause trouble.
On your knees. Now!
Okay,
No, just wait.
I should have taken care of this problem.
It is dangerous to be out in... What are you doing here? It's after curfew. It's dangerous.
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just inconvenient.
I beg your pardon?
Daria Mishka. Ring a bell?
I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to divulge anyone's personal information.
I'm asking for your help. Daria's missing. She's gotten herself mixed up in these harvester killings.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I don't see what that has to do with me. Or with you, for that matter.
Before going after her, I want to make sure I have all the information I need. I read the email you sent her. You seemed very concerned. Something about a neural surgery you performed. Why was it so important for her to meet you here?
I used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No, of course not. Before that, when I used to work for Taeyong Medical, big tech corporation. You know it?
Enough to know I don't like where this is going.
I headed a project, the cutting edge of neural science and cellular memory replacement. We dealt with people suffering from severe social disorders. We were making people better by making them better people.
A company like Taeyong running experiments to make better people. What could possibly go wrong?
I'll tell you what went wrong. The incident happened. Your kind lost sympathy with the world, and my kind lost funding for their projects. The whole thing was shut down, and it became very difficult to adequately follow up with patients.
Patients like Daria. What happened? What the hell did you do to her?
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone. Depression, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part out of your sales pitch.
Daria is responsible for what Daria does. The only reason Taeyong forced me to get involved is because so much is at stake for them. Big brand name to protect. I've met their lawyers, men whose briefcases are filled with broken teeth. You must understand.
I've been very patient so far. Too patient. That's about to change unless you start getting into details. What are you not telling me?
Look, I haven't had anything to do with this for years. Taeyong Medical contacted me and told me it was my responsibility because Daria was my patient. They implied that if Daria's story ever came to light, I would take all the blame.
So you're in this out of the goodness of your heart. What else?
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't exactly lining up to have a scrape inside their heads. So Taeyong had to diversify.
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Taeyong Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobotka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had. Nothing else mattered at the time.
Your pet project's been haunting the streets of Prague. She's been tearing people apart. Now I'm starting to think she wants to tear me apart. Sorry if all that inconveniences you, Doctor.
What is it you expect me to say? I followed procedures. The people who are really responsible for this, they're not the ones working in drugstores now.
Fine. So let's go after Taeyong.
Don't be naive.
You're really not helping your cause here. Give me something to work with. Tell me how to stop Daria.
All right. Look. We obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline. She won't let you get anywhere near it. So if you're serious about putting an end to this, you'll have to, you know...
What, kill her?
That would be my preference, yes. Or I suppose you could just incapacitate her, but then you run the risk of having her wake up. Not a risk I would take personally.
There must be another way. Something that doesn't involve attacking her.
I wish I could help you. Unless you're willing to meet violence with violence, Daria's not a victim. Chip or no chip, she is behind this, and she will try to attack you no matter what you do.
I don't think Daria's as responsible as you make her out to be. Taking her out and removing the chip is great for you. Gets rid of any evidence that might link her actions to your bungled experiment. But there's no way it's my only option. And there's no way Tai Young Medical would develop a sensitive technology like this without some kind of failsafe. I know you're holding something back.
Like what?
A weakness, an override. Something that allows me to talk to her without the influence of whatever it is you installed.
Well, there is an override phrase. Daria's been programmed to react to it with specific subconscious impulses that are designed to trigger a shutdown of the chip.
Why wouldn't you tell me that in the first place?
Because I knew you would overestimate what it could do. You're a fool if you think you can just walk up to a killer and say a magic word. It won't undo what she's become. The decision to act on Svobodka's memories, to repeat them, that was all Daria. Simply shutting down the chip at this point will not be sufficient.
That's for me to decide. What's the override phrase?
Ad hominem 2026. But I warn you, do not turn your back on her. And do not underestimate her responsibility in all of this. We all have terrible nightmares. We all have visions of sick and terrible things we could do. But we don't all act on them. You must be careful around her. It is dangerous to be out in the street tonight.
Just because I'm watching images of the deserted. I'm sick tonight, and I should be used to
Každého?
We have no business together. What are you doing here?
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just...
I'm...
We both know why I'm here. We can take the scenic route if you want, but if something happens to her because you felt the need to bullshit me...
Just tell the lawyers I'm doing the best I can here. If they were going to send someone, they should have told me. We could have coordinated.
The lawyers, huh? You really need to start filling in the blanks. What was your involvement with Daria? Why did you need her to meet you here?
I used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No,
Enough to know I don't like where this is going. Why do I get the feeling you did something unethical?
Unethical? Right and wrong are outdated concepts. Wouldn't waste my time with them if I were you.
Whatever you were involved in has obviously hurt people. Dealing with the effects of that is a waste of time to you?
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part. I'm trying to save Daria. If any part of you cares about what happens to her, now is the time to tell me. What do I need to know to help her?
Daria is beyond help. You're wasting your time.
That's for me to decide. Now tell me about this procedure. And you can quit stalling, because I'm not going anywhere until I get the answers I need.
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Young Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobotka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given, was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had. Nothing else mattered at the time.
An innocent woman's been turned into a vicious killer, in large part because of a procedure you carried out. I'd say that matters.
Daria wasn't turned into anything. She willingly participated in a procedure. Now she is willingly killing people. You may choose to see a causal relationship between those two things, but let me assure you, it's more complicated.
Save it for the lawyers. What I need to know is how to stop her.
All right. Look. We obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline. She won't let you get anywhere near it. So if you're serious about putting an end to this, you'll have to, you know.
What, kill her?
That would be my preference, yes. Or I suppose you could just incapacitate her, but then you run the risk of having her wake up. Not a risk I would take personally.
I know there's a keyword that can shut down the chip. I read about it in your notes. Why would you try to keep that from me?
Because I knew you would overestimate what it could do. You're a fool if you think you can just walk up to a killer and say a magic word. It won't undo what she's become. The decision to act on Svobodka's memories, to repeat them, that was all Daria. Simply shutting down the chip at this point will not be sufficient.
That's for me to decide. What's the override phrase?
Ad hominem 2026. But I warn you, do not turn your back on her. And do not underestimate her responsibility in all of this. We all have terrible nightmares. We all have visions of sick and terrible things we could do. But we don't all act on them. You must be careful around her. We have no business together. It is day. What are you doing here? I
don't have much time, so you need to start talking fast. Daria's in grave danger. That's if she's even still alive. If there's something I need to know about her.
Trust me, there's no hurry. The further men like you stay away from Daria, the better it...
Why men like me? Look, I know about the email you sent her. I know you performed some kind of surgery. Why was it so important? How exactly did you make people better?
We found a way to isolate specific character traits. The idea was to use neural implants with
I've been very patient so far. Too patient. That's about to change unless you
Look, I haven't had anything to do with this.
So you're in this out of the goodness of your heart.
My job was to...
Once again, not sure I like where this is going. Your test subject's been murdering people all over Prague. Maybe you'll be next.
What? She didn't actually mention me, did she?
Is that all you care about? Your own skin?
It's not all I care about, but it's a very high priority.
Then let's put it this way. She's not the only one you need to be scared of right now.
All right. Look, we obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline.
What, kill? There must be another way. Something that doesn't involve attacking her.
I wish I could help you. Unless you're willing to meet violence with violence, Daria's not a victim. Chip or no chip, she is behind this, and she will try to attack you no matter what you do. She must be held accountable.
Maybe, but I still think you're hiding something.
Look, I'm the only one who can analyze the data and find...
We'll see.
We have no business together. What?
There must be another way. Something that doesn't involve attacking her.
I wish I could help you. Unless you're willing to meet violence with violence, Daria's not a victim. Chip or no chip, she is behind this, and she will try to attack you no matter what you do.
I think you just want her out of the picture, so she can't tell her story to anyone, so that you and Tai Young don't get embarrassed.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I wish I could help, but I swear to you, attacking her before she attacks you is the only way.
Maybe, but I still think you're hiding something.
Look, I'm the only... What are you...
I guess I'll just forward that email you wrote to her to the police. Or maybe straight to the media. We'll let them make sense of your involvement in all this.
You sure you don't work for Tai Young Medical? That's exactly what they said. That I would be made the center of a show trial if it came to light.
If what came to light?
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor...
There must be another way. Something that doesn't involve attacking her.
I wish I could help you. Unless you're willing to meet violence with violence, Daria's not a victim. Chip or no chip, she is behind this, and she will try to attack you no matter what you do.
I don't think Daria's as responsible as you make her out to be. Taking her out and removing the chip is great for you. Gets rid of any evidence that might link her actions to your bungled experiment. But there's no way it's my only option. And there's no way Tai Young Medical would develop a sensitive technology like this without some kind of failsafe. I know you're holding something back.
Like what?
A weakness, an override. Something that allows me to talk to her without the influence of whatever it is you installed.
Well, there is an override phrase. Daria has been programmed to react to it with specific subconscious impulses that are designed.
Why wouldn't you tell me that in the
Because I knew you would.
That's for me to
Ad hominem 2026. It is dangerous to be out in the street tonight.
This is ridiculous. At least get them out of the way.
Kvůli vlastní bezpečnosti nevycházejte ven. Hrozí zatčení.
She's always I promise. You're not
Biopills, painkillers.
Whatever you want. Daz is the man. He'll set you up.
Resolve.
Adam, good. We need to talk, son.
What's going on, Seraph? Why the secure vidcall number?
I looked into Facility 451. It was a processing clinic, one of dozens set up after the incident to help augmented people recover. It was supposed to be places to heal, but they were run more like prison camps.
And?
And I don't think you got your new Augs there. You said rescue teams dumped you in that clinic shortly after Panchaea collapsed, but your name doesn't appear on its entry logs. And it doesn't appear on any survivor recovery lists either.
They said I was a John Doe. Nobody knew who I was.
It wouldn't have been hard to find out. Your augmentations have serial numbers. Or at least the ones I had installed into Adam Jensen did.
Why are you so sure I didn't get these Augs in Alaska? Orloff was there. I spoke with him.
You said he was using an alias, McFadden. I looked into it. Casper McFadden didn't exist until the day you regained consciousness, which was 1 month before you escaped the facility.
Okay, so where was Orlov?
Not in Alaska. He was with Tai Young Medical for a while, and in the spring of 2028, his name pops up once or twice in the Baltic region. Then he dropped off the grid, and McFadden shows up.
So what does that prove? Orlov is McFadden, and McFadden is Orlov. None of it connects him to me.
Except for the Augs which Orloff designed and nobody else knows how to install, let alone make compatible with a competing system.
Are you suggesting all my Augs are new? Even the ones you gave me?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm telling you all the Augs we ever installed had registry codes, and they're not hard to trace.
I know my Augs, Seraph. It took 2 years for my body to get used to them, to unlock all their potential.
2 years? Really, Adam? One of which you don't remember because you were allegedly in a coma in Alaska. Look, son, all I'm saying is it wouldn't have been hard to identify you, but for some reason, that never happened.
I found a set of Orlov schematics in a secret military facility in the Swiss Alps. The mercs there had the same augments as me. Do you think I could have been there?
A secret military base in Switzerland? It's kind of far from the Arctic, but...
But what?
When Panchaea collapsed, the original search and rescue mission was reclassified as a recovery operation after 7 days.
Meaning they weren't expecting to find any more survivors.
A few days after that, a unit of soldiers who were never publicly identified intervened. I think that's who found you.
They pull me out of the ocean, take me somewhere, and a year later, Orlov and I show up in Alaska.
Maybe. Listen, son, there's some conclusions you have to make for yourself. I've gone as far as I can take you. Orlov might have had answers, but as soon as you found out he was in Prague, that he'd been visiting Prague periodically ever since you started working with TF-29's division there, somebody killed him. You tell me what it means.
I can't. Not yet.
Well, if you ever do find out, give me a call. Until then, take care of yourself, Adam. Be careful.
Thanks for the help, Seraph.
I don't know where she is. All I know is...
We call you martial law.
Oh, thank God. I knew you'd find me. We must hurry, before he comes back.
Before who comes back? The man who killed Angela Gunn?
Yes. He knows you're after him. He wanted you to come.
So where is he?
He's everywhere. Can you not feel his presence? Are you not scared?
Why did he bring you here? What does he want?
He's using me to get to you. He thinks that by removing your augmentations, he can make you whole again. Quickly, come closer. Help me to get out, and then deal with him. Please, I beg you.
I need to know where he is first. How long ago did he leave here? Which way did he go?
You've got to be joking. We don't have time for all these questions. If he knows I spoke to you, he will kill me. Please, my ankle. Come closer. You must help me escape.
You can drop the act, Daria. I know what's going on here. I know there's no one else out there. I ran into an old friend of yours. The name Cipra mean anything to you?
You mean Dr. Cipra? Where did you dig him up?
He's worried about you.
He's worried about himself. He's worried about Tai Yong Medical. They're willing to kill to cover things up, to preserve their precious image. Their reasons are savage compared to mine.
I don't believe this is who you are. Something changed in you after Cipra's surgery. Made you do things you would never have done otherwise, for reasons that aren't your own. But it's not too late.
Don't be so naive. I am who I've always been. Cipra's surgery, all it did was give me access to another man's technique, his courage to follow through.
I can still help you. Ad hominem 2026.
What did you do? Is that how machines pray?
Listen to me. The neural chip that Dr. Cipra installed in you is in the process of shutting down. Try to focus. This version of you that's been hurting people, I don't believe that was really you.
Then you don't know me very well. Why? Why should this change anything? The procedure gave me access to memory banks that weren't my own. The choice to draw on those memories was mine alone. You can't take them from me.
The shutdown process may take some time. There may be lingering effects, but that doesn't mean it's too late to help you.
You really believe that, don't you? All right. Prove it. Approach me. Come. Closer. Save me from all those horrible things Dr. Cipra did. There's nothing to be scared of, right? Surely, whatever trace of the harvester was inside me is gone now that you've said the magic words.
You obviously need more help than I can offer, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. Whatever power the neural chip had over you should be diminishing now. You should be able to fight whatever urges Svobodka's memories inspired in you.
I don't need help. You do. You need to be saved. All Augs need to be saved. Svobodka inspired me to... I can make you human again. I have to make you human again to atone for what I am.
This notion you got that augmented people need saving, that there's something less than human. Look, I didn't know her, but I guarantee you Angela Gunn was a human being. Her humanity was defined by her ideas, her passions, the causes she believed in. It had nothing to do with whether or not she was augmented.
Svobotka never saw them as individuals. To him, they were victims of an age that terrified him. Mirror images of the monster he had become. He believed the entire race was under attack, that mechanization would keep our souls from migrating.
How does that sound like to you when you say it? Migration of the soul, victims of an age? I'm not talking abstract concepts here. I'm talking about people. Svobotka never saw his victims as human beings because it would have made it impossible to do what he did. He was sick, he was scared. Whatever he was no savior.
You're right. The more he killed, the easier it became. That is why he had to repeat the actions, ritualize them. It was a way of justifying his beliefs. If you kill one man, the memory is like an anvil. If you kill 7, you quickly forget the first. It all starts to seem inevitable. Surely it must be obvious to you by now. The Daria you came here to save no longer exists. She hasn't for a long time. All that remains now is his drive, his legacy, his cause.
His cause, not yours. I don't know the extent to which you're responsible for your actions, whether you chose to be like him or whether it was completely out of your control. But you are different. If you can recognize that, then maybe you can start distinguishing his motives from your own.
Let's say that I can feel his presence receding. After all this time, maybe I can finally recover the person I was before Cypra's procedure. That doesn't undo what I've done. How can I possibly be allowed to walk out of here?
It's not for me to judge you. I want smarter people than me to look into this neural procedure you underwent. Dig into Cypra and Tai Young.
So you're offering me a fair trial?
I'm not offering anything. But if there's any hope of moving on here, not killing anyone else is a good start. Society has every right to judge you, and it also has a right to hear all about Cypra and Tai Young Medical. I'm not an expert on extenuating circumstances, but I'd say you have an interesting case.
You were right before, about the override process taking time. I can feel him receding. Memories of memories no longer crashing against me like they did. Let me prove it to you. Come closer. I want at least one person to know that I'm no longer what I was.
I think we've made enough progress for today. Let's not ruin a good thing.
I understand. No one will ever see me as anything but him. Even if I no longer am.
What's going on here? What the hell am I interrupting?
Detective Montag.
Daria's got a story to tell you. How you react may have something to do with your thoughts on experimental neural therapies and big medical conglomerates.
I don't understand. Where is the harvester?
I want to turn myself in.
One of you really needs to start explaining.
I want to confess to the killings of Angela Gunn, Misha Voracek, Pavel Klima, and Leonie Wolf. I also need to tell you about the neural procedure I underwent. It involves Tai Young Medical and a man named Dr. Nicholas Cypra. I hope you'll listen.
You can handle this from here. Just listen carefully to what she has to say.
All right, Daria. I think you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Tai Young Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was involved, when it happened.
I'm not that person anymore. I swear.
Take your time. For now, nothing's going to happen until I get the full story. Intruder!
He's worried about himself.
I don't... The shutdown... You obviously need more help than I can offer. But that doesn't mean it's not out there. Whatever power the neural chip had over you should be diminishing now. You should be able to fight whatever urges Svobodka's memories inspired in you.
I don't need help. You do. You need to be saved. All Augs need to be saved. Svobodka inspired me to... I can make you human again. I have to make you human again to atone for what I am.
This notion you got that augmented people need saving, that there's something less than human. Look, I didn't know her, but I guarantee you Angela Gunn was a human being. Her humanity was defined by her ideas, her passions, the causes she believed in. It had nothing to do with whether or not she was augmented.
Svobodka never saw them as individuals. To him, they were victims of an age that terrified him. Mirror images of the monster he had become. He believed the entire race was under attack, that mechanization would keep our souls from migrating.
How does that sound like to you when you say it? Migration of the soul, victims of an age? I'm not talking abstract concepts here. I'm talking about people. Svobodka never saw his victims as human beings because it would have made it impossible to do what he did. He was sick, he was scared. Whatever he was no savior.
You're right. The more he killed, the easier it became. That is why he had to repeat the actions, ritualize them. It was a way of justifying his beliefs. If you kill one man, the memory is like an anvil. If you kill 7, you quickly forget the first. It all starts to seem inevitable. Surely it must be obvious to you by now. The Daria you came here to save no longer exists. She hasn't for a long time. All that remains now is his drive, his legacy, his cause.
Svobodka didn't have a cause. He was a serial killer, acting out on impulses that he tried to couch in spiritual rhetoric. A way of convincing himself that his actions were justified, but they weren't. No amount of faith or abstraction makes it okay to dehumanize people the way he did.
No. No, it doesn't. But so what if you're right? So what that Svobodka's motivations cannot stand up to scrutiny? His actions, my actions, cannot be justified. Where does that leave me? If those others did not deserve to die, then I deserve to die.
It's not for me to judge you. I want smarter people than me to look into this neural procedure you underwent. Dig into Cipra and Tai Young.
So you're offering me a fair trial?
I'm not offering anything. But if there's any hope of moving on here, not killing anyone else is a good start. Society has every right to judge you, and it also has a right to hear all about Cipra and Tai Young Medical. I'm not an expert on extenuating circumstances, but I'd say you have an interesting case.
You were right before, about the override process taking time. I can feel him receding. Memories of memories no longer crashing against me like they did. Let me prove it to you. Come closer. I want at least one person to know that I'm no longer what I was.
All right, Daria, we need to get you out of here for real now. This needs to end.
The version of me who did those things to Angela, I cannot even imagine it being me, even though I know it was. Whatever happens now, whatever the authorities decide, I hope you believe me.
What's going on here? What the hell am I interrupting?
Detective Montag.
Daria's got a story to tell you. How you react may have something to do with your thoughts on experimental neural therapies and big medical conglomerates.
I don't understand. Where is the harvester?
I want to turn myself in.
One of you really needs to start explaining.
I want to confess to the killings of Angela Gunn, Misha Voracek, Pavel Klima, and Leonie Wolf. I also need to tell you about the neural procedure I underwent. It involves Tai Young Medical and a man named Dr. Nicholas Cipra. I hope you'll listen.
You can handle this from here. Just listen carefully to what she has to say.
All right, Daria. I think you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Tai Young Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was involved, when it happened.
I'm not that person anymore. I swear to you.
Take your time. For now, nothing's going to happen until I get the full story.
Turning myself in is for the best. I know that now.